Yeah.
Crazy Wildcats podcast. Hope you all had a very, very good day or very good weekend with Jason Scheer. I am merely Mike Luke. Hello, Jason Scheer. How are you doing?
Super, Michael. Thank you.
All right. We have got a lot to get to this show. We are going to talk almost exclusively Arizona football. Some people have been giving me a little bit of grief on Twitter for not just sticking to it when I say that I'm going to talk just Arizona football. So we're going to talk Arizona football. We have all kinds of good stuff, and we're going to talk about Brian Jeffries for a little bit, and a very fun, like I said, Big 12 is here. But let's talk about the Big 12 and that it's here and the death of the Pac-12. Listen, here's where I'm at with all of this. Is that it had to happen. Yes, we had some very, very good memories with the Pac-12, but I am very, very happy that we are moving on to something far more scrumptious, Jason Scheer.
Well, it didn't have to happen. The whole point of this is that it didn't have to happen. But now that it's happening, I have no problem. I'm not one of these guys that is, sad or anything like that. I'm excited. Mike, we just found out that Media Day is sponsored by Totino's. They could have.
I love Totino's pizzas. They're really cheap too, and they're quite good. Like I like the French or the Canadian bacon. It's very good.
Yeah, see, I mean that's big news for you. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Maybe Del Taco, Yormark's got that up the sleeve or something. But yeah, I'm just not sentimental about it. And I grew up on the Pac-12. I don't get sentimental about stuff like this. Instead, I choose to be excited about what the future holds.
Yes, and we are very excited about what the future holds because we're going to a place that likes sports. We're going to a conference that likes sports as opposed to the Stanford Cows. Sports, that's for the unwashed masses. We do not like that. Yes, we very, very much like it. French Canadian bacon, and I'll never be able to not think about that now. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Tyler Warden. But Scheer, like I said, it's a good thing. And you know what I also am really, really annoyed by with all of this? Everybody knows how good Big 12 basketball is. I am very annoyed that they're getting some of these folks that are talking about the Big 12 football like it's crap. Big 12 football has like literally 5 teams in the preseason top 25. This isn't like we're talking about like the Horizon League, or like I said, I don't even know if the Horizon League has football, but you know what I'm saying, Scheer.
Yeah, and we've gone over, there's some good teams in the Big 12. I mean, everyone's on Utah's jock. Arizona's going to be good. Kansas State, Oklahoma State. There's a legit possibility they have, 5 top 25 teams at the end of the season. And sure, there's some teams in the conference that aren't very good, but you can go around and do that with every conference in America.
Yeah. We will not put up with any of this. By the way, Alonzo Carter is liking the tweet of Alonzo Carter. If you're watching, we are very, very big fans of Alonzo Carter. You did a very good job in the running backs room. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about Alonzo Carter here in just a second, but very excited for Big 12 Media Day. Also very excited to drive up there next Monday with Jason Scheer. And Shelby Scheer has been very, very clear with me all weekend about what she will not accept on the ride up there, Scheer. We will see about this one. She's
not kidding. I'm telling you. She is not. You will.
By the way, real quick, I put out Shelby Scheer and I had a huge conversation. We're going to get to about whether farts are funny. I believe farts are funny. Most normal people believe farts are funny. I posted this on the board. Almost everybody believes farts are funny. Shelby, you lost. Farts are funny. Okay, now let's get to a little bit. Oh, Del Taco Tommy, very funny though when he said, well, yeah, he says, generally I agree, but with what you eat, I don't think that they're funny. So, Rick Trimmer, the great Rick Trimmer, Mike's going to get the boot and wiki up. I think I'll get a little bit further than that. I think Shelby will give me one stern warning and then I'll probably back off a little bit.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, Shelby says, "Get ready to walk home, Mike."
She is not kidding. She
Dude,
gets
and
mad
you
when
guys-
I do it. She gets
and-
mad when I do it, let alone you.
Yeah, but mine don't smell though.
Oh, Mike, come on.
They don't. Anyways, we'll get back to farts in a little bit.
Shane's in the background wondering what he just got himself into.
Oh, the great Shane Diefenbach. But you know where Shane Diefenbach is from? He should understand this. Shane Diefenbach's from Seattle.
Rainy, sleepy, stinky Seattle.
Oh, right. All right, Twin Mama. We're going to get to Twin Mama. Remind me, did you know that Twin Mama, who is on the board, her husband designed the Circle K on Park and Speedway.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he designed farts. I was like, wow.
Wow, yeah, no, he really, yes.
We saw a new Circle K the other day, a relatively new one. Shelby and I did. It caught us by surprise. It's in the Tucson Marketplace. Have you been to that one?
There's a new Circle K there?
It's relatively new, like where the Dave and Buster's is and stuff.
I didn't know that. No. Next time you're there, take a picture. I want to see it.
I will.
All right.
Shelby and I drove by it.
Now, let's get to some Arizona Instant Impact contributors here. If Alonzo Carter is watching, he's probably like, what the heck did I just turn into? Okay, but all right. There are a lot of Instant Impact contributors from this class that I'm very intrigued by. Again, I think it's a very underrated class. By the way, in 2025, for all of our Sun Devil fans that were like, Arizona's dead last, it's up to 6th now in the Big 12, and it's only going up. Scheer, it's only going up, my friend. It is.
When you say Instant Impact, you mean the class that's on campus
24
now?
and 25 we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about 24, and then obviously we got to start with Corey Krosky Merritt. At the running back spot, he definitely merits that top billing. When you look at him, he's a stud. I believe that he's an NFL player. This is a guy that the coaching staff did very, very good work with. And I think he's going to be the starter. I think he's probably going to get 55% of the 55% of the carries. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think he's number one, only because I think a lot of these other guys, well, not a lot, but a chunk of them are fighting for starting spots still. Jacory's the starting running back. I would assume it's him and Conley and all that. Yeah, I mean, and we think he's really good. I know he came from a lower level. I don't really care.
I don't care either.
It's going to be good, and I think running backs often translate.
Yes, I think running backs translate. Plus, I know when I see it, he looks the part. He's good, and I love the backfield. You know, you add Quali Conley as well. From another guy that averaged 1,000 yards per season, averaged 1,000 yards per game last year at about 7 yards a pop. Both those dudes, yes, please sign me up for 2. I think they're going to be just fine as 2 guys that you brought in. I look for both those guys to be instant impact players.
Yeah, look at you. Look at you.
All over the place. All over the place. Yes. Now, when it comes to now, Joseph said Shane's from Seattle. He says, sheesh, all that dude has going for him is the disclaimers, I guess. No, Shane has much more going for him than the disclaimers. Shane is literally, I thought you were from Seattle, Shane. You literally told me you were from Seattle, I thought. Oh, there's some connection there. There's, dad is.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, all right. Well, either way, Shane's dad's also a very impressive person, just like Shane. But also, we need to get Shane, since he's on here, Shane, the most stealth cameraman that we have ever seen, ever. It's amazing. Yeah. Gets all the clips we need, and he is fantastic. We very much like Shane Diefenbach.
Shane's an impressive man. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, Shane really is. Okay, now let's get to the offensive line, instant impact contributors. There's got to be one instant impact contributor on this. There's got to be somewhere, because you got 4 spots that I think are pretty much spoken for. You got Jonas Sabanea. You got Wendell Moy, you got Josh Baker, you got our guy Leif Magnuson. And so there's kind of a spot that is, that's open. Now, is it going to be Raymond Polito, who's obviously not new? Is it going to be the San Diego State transfer, another big Jonah, Michael Wooten? I'm going to go on my record and say this, Jason Scheer, that if Polito gets hurt, I believe that Jonah 2.0 from San Diego State takes that spot, and he never relinquishes it.
That was the one I was going to go with for the instant impact offensive lineman. I just think Jonah's more further along than a couple other guys. Wooten has that potential. He's a little bit more raw. The issue is with Wooten is like he wasn't healthy either. And he's the type of the guy where like I think he's good, but until you see that he's healthy, it's hard to kind of put that on him. Rodriguez redshirted, and people got to realize those redshirt years, they're a big deal, right?
Sure.
Like it's because you're not getting a true freshman offensive lineman, and it's very hard for a true freshman offensive lineman to play. So yeah, he's probably the one. It's between him and Wooten. Clearly, the one I say I'm disappointed in, and I got to be careful here. I thought Deuced would contribute at a higher level, or at least be more in the rotation. What's interesting is if you ask the strength staff who the strongest guy on the team is, it's Deuced. He is the strongest guy on the team, and you just want that to translate. So I'm not giving up on him yet, but I am intrigued to see if he was able to, get through the rough spots in the spring, and now that we're in fall camp, it'll look better.
Yes. Now, let's see here. Brian Peterson just put out, he said, with Totino's name the presenting sponsor of Big 12 Conference Media Days, I propose a pizza roll eating contest. Justin Spears, Jason Scheer, Steve Farfaro, okay, and Lev. I would beat all of these people combined. I would win.
I think Troy's kind of a sleeper there.
Ooh, although Troy is a sleeper. I'm going to put that one. Although Troy is a sleeper. That is a very good one. We will find out, but maybe I will get into a pizza roll eating contest.
That means 100. Like I'm looking at the Big 12 is they're announcing everything right now. Like they're announcing all the players coming and all that. So,
right.
They just released the videos and all that. This is kind of wild.
This is good. It's weird. Go ahead.
No, it's weird. It's a little weird. Not in a bad way. It's just like, you're watching these Big 12 videos and Arizona's in it.
Yeah, no.
By the way, we need to discuss one thing on the release, though. I think it'll calm people down. Yes. Even though we reported this already, T-Mac will be at Media Day. You don't do that if that's a really serious injury still. Or correct. If he's in a boot or anything.
Yeah, you don't want to see him in a boot. By the way, you know what this also means? If T-Mac's going to be at Media Day, you know who else is going to be at Media Day? Shane Diefenbach.
Oh, we should get this. Wait. Oh, yeah.
This is big.
Yeah.
This is big. This is big. Our good pal Shane Diefenbach will be at Media Day, so we can introduce him.
ASU is sending your boy, Scattaboo.
Okay. Scattaboo. All right, yeah.
Alfred Leaf. Yeah, I don't care. I just care about Scattaboo.
ASU, they not like us. No thanks.
Yeah, they're not like us.
Yeah, but anyways, maybe we'll introduce Shane to the great
we should do a segment.
Yes. Oh, introducing T-Mac. Very, very good segment. I do like that one. Joseph, I disagree with you. I think Leif starts.
That's not the line. Leif starts. That's not the line.
Yeah. Leif starts. We disagree with you. Now, so that's kind of where I'm at, though. But like I said, I think Jonah Rodriguez is a very interesting wild card in all of this, though. Jason, I almost said Shane Diefenbach.
But that's another one too. Like Shenko is. I mean, he wasn't able to get in the rotation at ASU, but he was a depth piece, and maybe he's a depth piece here. I like what Arizona did on the O-line. They didn't get that superstar starter.
Right.
Because those cost like $1 million. But they landed a good amount of depth should someone get hurt. We saw what happened in the spring when they were putting out walk-ons and, you were next up in line.
There is enough actual players that I do believe that Arizona can do, that Arizona should be able to find somebody there. And no, I don't want a guy from ASU, probably not good enough to start at the U of A, unless it's Jaden Rashada.
How many people are you guys sending for Media Day?
All right. Hey, Shane Diefenbach, you want to hop in here for a second? Jacob Franklin is not participating. It's just Shane Diefenbach. But all right. Well, if he doesn't, okay, fine. That Jacob says, or Shane says no. So I'm going. Totree's going. Shane Diefenbach is going. I think Saul is going. I don't know, 4 or 5, something like that. 4 or 5.
Roll deep.
Yeah.
Look at you guys.
But Only one person is in the Scheer van, and that is me. All right, Glenn has just joined the chat. Sup, Big 12 brothers? Hope you all had a good weekend. Agreed, Glenn. I do. Hope you had a good weekend as well. All right, now let's get into a little bit on the defensive side of the football. There are a lot of instant impact players, and we're going to start on the defensive line. And again, we're going to get to 2025 here shortly. On the defensive line, again, talked about this with Lamont Lovett on the radio today. Kevon Darton, he's very good. He's very good. And I think the people are really missing the boat on him. If you were to tell me that he was going to flirt with being an honorable mention or an all Big 12 guy, Scheer, I would not mind that flirtation.
Yeah, I think he's overlooked, kind of forgotten because he wasn't here during the spring. And the whole he's small argument doesn't really hold weight for me because he was small when he was at Syracuse too.
Right. And
he was still one of the best defensive linemen in the ACC. So, yeah, he's small, but the thing with when you're smaller, look, and I'm not making the comparison. I'm not saying he's as good. Please don't change this around. Like, Aaron Donald's not a big guy, right? But Aaron Donald's technique and motor is unmatched. And, like, Darton's technique and motor, like, obviously it's good for him to pick up the numbers that he got. So I think he's a bit forgotten. But when you look at that defensive line overall, those instant impact guys, there's quite a few.
There's quite a few. So I like Darton a lot. We need to keep talking about him. And let's see here. Now, another guy that we need to talk about, Chuba May. Now,
my guy.
Big part of this, and we've talked about it from day one, the culture loss that was BBN. And pretty much everybody has rallied behind the culture, the new culture warrior, the new culture warrior being Chuba May. Scheer, you agree with this as well, that this is going to be the guy that picks up the mantle from BBN. I mean, those are big shoulders to fill, but if anybody can do it, I think it's Chuba.
Yeah, he's the coolest dude. A part of me wishes he was going to media day, even though that makes no sense, because he's such a cool dude and he's a really nice guy. Everyone loves him. He's when a Polynesian guy comes on campus to visit, he's right there hosting or on the visit with them and all that. Yeah, when you talk about culture, look, at the end of the day,
culture.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, when you talk about the culture of a program, there's not many programs with bad cultures where like they're filled with close Polynesian players, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
like it's an easy way to build culture. And you take a look at the Polys, and they all hang out on visits and all that. They sit around and play guitar, and it's like it's awesome. And he's a guy where not only is he good for culture, Mike, I think we're actually doing some of a disservice. What we saw during the spring is he was really good too.
He's very, very large. Very few people dwarf BBN. He dwarfs BBN.
He would win the Totino's pizza roll contest. Should he be involved?
I think I would have a chance in this one.
Wow.
I really do. All right. Now, and then a couple other ones. Now, we got to keep on the D line here. I love Bear Anderson. I do not believe Bear Anderson will start this year, but I do believe that he is going to be squarely in that possibility for next year, though, as a starter. Obviously, a kid out of Memphis, did a lot of really, really good things. Bear Anderson. And again, the kid, the guy from Utah, I'm dropping his name right now.
Chase
Kennedy. With guys like that, I'd love to see it. I just said that he just really hasn't done anything. But
yeah, Chase Kennedy is a little raw. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. But it also doesn't mean necessarily anything because Hunter Echols did literally nothing for 8 years at USC, and he became good here. So
yeah, I mean, Chase Kennedy's raw a little bit, but he's super athletic. Utah coaches spoke highly of him. He needs to stay healthy. Lance Kennelly from Stanford. I don't expect huge numbers, but he's a veteran guy that's played a lot of snaps at Stanford. One guy, Mike, that I think we're also overlooking that the coaching staff feels on the defensive line could be a high impact guy is Stanley Taufuau.
From USC.
Yeah. I know Brett Arcee, who has worked with him before, speaks super highly of him.
Mm-hmm.
And thinks that kid is going to come in and surprise quite a few people.
Did you find out who these commitments are yet?
I have no idea. The coaching staff is on vacation, I'm pretty sure, because it's a dead period. I know that Brent Brennan is in the slums of Manhattan Beach fundraising. Yeah, he did it. He was on a yacht yesterday.
Oh, man, that must have been tough. Now, was he hanging out on that smelly, rainy yacht with Jed Fish? Did Jed Fish keep pushing out there?
He was not. I believe he was actually with Desiree and a few others. They're fundraising with wealthy people. But yeah, it's a dead period. So this is kind of where coaches go away for a week or so and reset before summer football.
All right. Well, either way, yeah, keep doing it, Coach. I have not been reached out to about donating yet. I guess they are not really looking for the real heavy hitters yet, but maybe at some point that will occur. Now, let's talk a little bit about at linebacker. Don't really have any instant impact linebacker guys yet. That is definitely something that still needs to be addressed, in my opinion. Let's talk secondary. We're talking instant impact players here, and then we're going to get to 2025. But there's two guys in the secondary. Obviously, Owen Goss. You're bringing him in from Colgate. He was between Arizona and Crest to be able to get him from Colgate, but you were able to get him, and I would imagine that he's going to play because he was an all-conference type guy. At what level, I don't know, but I think when you're looking at corner, Freeney from Miami, I don't really I don't see a ton there for sure outside of Goss.
Yeah, Goss, I think, is going to be a veteran guy. I don't think he won't start, obviously. I think he's going to be a special team stud. Right. Like, they really like him on special teams. One guy I would keep a close eye on is Marquise Groves-Killebrew. He was a 4-star guy in high school, had a hernia. No one found the hernia. Comes to Arizona, they're like, dude, of course you didn't play, and you hurt every time you play. You have a freaking hernia. So he has hernia surgery and misses the spring. Arizona was literally the first of 3 schools to find that he had needed a hernia surgery. They think he's going to be good. So he's a guy at corner that there's a legit chance he emerges here in fall camp as a starter or close to it.
You know, this staff is very good at finding out things. Just like with Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, you know, they, again, I think that still merits a mention. It really, really does. Very impressive.
This is a guy that was ranked 114th in the nation coming out of high school.
Yeah, but like I said, when you're at like 3 or 4 different places, whatever, like, again, I would love to be wrong on this, but with guys like that, I got to see it.
Oh, I know. I don't disagree with you.
Yes. You know what? You know, I noticed that you say this all the time now. I do not understand why you say this.
I say that all the time. It's not just you. I've always said that. I don't disagree with you. It's a way out.
It's a total cop-out on everything.
Yeah, I don't disagree completely, but I don't agree completely.
Right. All right, Joseph.
I'm in the middle, so I don't disagree with you, but I don't necessarily agree with you.
All right, Joseph just says, daily, my bad flow, hashtag my bad flow loading from Mike. Here's the deal with flow. We got to come up with something that, what is the line of demarcation that equals a my bad flow? Keep in mind he had 1 sack last year. So, what do we need from Justin Flow in order for there to really constitute a my bad flow movement?
Anything?
I said 4 sacks. I said if he gives you 4 sacks, that's all I ask for. 4 sacks.
Yeah, I'll take 4 sacks.
Give me 4 sacks because that's 4 more than I'm expecting.
How many does he have in his career?
Like 3.
I'm going to look this up, Michael. I know you need me to look this up. He had 1 last year.
I know he had 1 last year. I just said
that. That's it. That's his whole career.
He has 1 sack in 4 years under 3 different coaching staffs. That's all. If you get 4 sacks, you will 1,000% get a my bad flow from me. It will flow like the salmon of Capistrano. Marcelo Martinez, 5 tackles per game. Dude, if he gets 5 tackles per game, then there's going to be a lot more than that. Yes. Here's where I am with Glenn. Glenn actually making a good point. Glenn says, flow hasn't clicked yet. At this point, you know what you're getting, a few personal flags and a sack. Yeah, kind of. I mean, you want him to be good, but, you know. He does, dude. I have seen him around campus. He's got a really, really spiffy car that he cruises.
Yeah, it's a dope car.
Yeah,
it's nice. I like it.
It's very, very nice. And here's the other thing. I want him to be good because by all accounts, he's a good dude. But I want him to be good.
I like Flo. I want him to be good.
Right. But
the natural ability is there. Like if football was just, this is going to sound really bad. If football was just about running in a straight line and killing a guy, Flo's good.
Right.
It's when he has to drop back in the coverage. And Erica loves him. Maybe it's Erica's. Maybe Erica needs to.
Now, Erica Alday's two favorite players, I believe, are Gunner and Flo, correct?
Yeah. Gunner's going to be at Media Day, Erica.
Ooh. Hey, do you think I should go right up to him and say, hello, Mike Luke, nice to meet you. # my bad Gunner. You know,
he's a really good dude. He's a really good dude because he knows that we talked crap about him and he doesn't mention it. He doesn't he's just a good dude.
Yeah, but see, and that's the thing where I give him a lot of credit for, because I do deserve to, if, with all the stuff that I've talked, I do deserve to be crapped on from time to time. I mean, heck, remember when we're doing a post-game show and Kylan Boswell's liking all my tweets, and it's like, dude, but it's like, all right, dude, whatever. But either way, Gunnar Maldonado, very, very much looking forward to talking with Gunnar Maldonado. Now, Robert Garitano, I would love to be right. I would love to agree with you, but I just can't do it. Here's the problem with the flow. Robert Garitano says he just needs to be coached right. He's had 3 different staffs now that have all had no clue what to do with him.
I will say that Danny Gonzalez finally said what all the other coaches would say, and that's basically look, we need to find something he's good at, and that's the only thing he's going to do. Justin Flo can rush the quarterback. That's all Justin Flo's doing.
Yeah. So I don't know what else to really say other than that. I would love to be wrong on that. That's where we're at. Okay. Now let's talk 2025 here. There are going to be some interesting players that I think are going to be instant impact contributors. But first, Scheer, guess what's back, and guess what's back with a vengeance?
I mean, there's just so many options.
This is big.
Circle K.
No, well, I mean, Circle K never left. I mean, come on. Circle K never left. What's that?
Your gas.
No, I haven't had gas this morning.
Oh.
Guess what's back, though?
What?
The Four Peaks.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Four Peaks is back, baby. Four Peaks is back. Here's the deal. But here's where I'm a little bummed about it. Four Peaks is obviously awesome, but they waited for Dylan Anderson to leave. It was a perfect time to have the Four Peaks last year. Four Peaks is back, though, my friend. Thank everybody. Thank Shane Diefenbach. Thank whoever you want. Thank Erica L. Day. Here's the deal with Four Peaks. Visit fourpeaks.com/locator to find all your favorite beers and events. Check out at Four Peaks Brew or Four Peaks Pub on the IG to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 years or older to enjoy Four Peaks. Please enjoy responsibly. I will be at the casino this week with Erica L. Day, and guess what I am going to take a picture of for a TikTok? A picture with a Four Peaks in my hand. I am very, very excited about this. Four Peaks it's back, Scheer. Now I can start taking pictures of that Four Peaks truck and saying Four Peaks. This is big. This is big.
We can just go casino to casino and ask who has Four Peaks.
Yes, exactly. And if they don't have Four Peaks, guess where we're going? A different
casino.
Out.
Yeah, we're out.
Boom. Yes. Exactly. Four Peaks, though, very, very excited about this. This is great, great stuff. Now, one other thing that is great, great stuff as well. Scheer, Desert Financial Credit Union.
Mm-hmm. That's where I save my money for when I need to buy Four Peaks.
Twin Peaks. Here's the deal. Or my dad, when he's at that Twin Peaks or that Picacho Peak store, if you had an extra $200, maybe you would be like Glenn, who's always got an extra $200 just hanging around to buy some cat food or something. But I prefer to use it on animals that are actually productive members of society, like Ted Wardo. Wow. And either way, check it out. Desert Financial Credit Union. Just like Jason Scheer, this is for the people, by the people. That is the big thing. This is community. This is community at its finest. This is true. This is true. All right. Well, yeah, it's so good that Scheer didn't have anything to say. That's how good it was. But either way, Desert Financial Credit Union, when you open a free checking account online, get $200 in bonuses. Get started by visiting desertfinancial.com/202-day. Check it out again. Now, when all kinds of good stuff is going on, the Desert Financial Credit Union is generally the stilt. You know, people think that Wilt Chamberlain, they called him Wilt the Stilt. but they probably didn't know that the Desert Financial Credit Union was going to be coming along later on as well as one of those stilts to push people up. Desert Financial, check it out, right, Scheer?
Yes, that was very creative. Very creative.
It was good. You know, wow. I wonder if Shane Diefenbach, you know, everybody at PHNX except me is tall. Shane Diefenbach is like 6'6". Jacob Franklin's like 6'10". So
you're
Eric,
5. What are you?
What's that? I'm
You're
5'9".
Yeah, you know.
So Erica L. Day is 6'1", just judging by that picture she took the other day.
I don't know if you guys saw that picture. I think 6'1" is. I think isn't like Erica like 6'3"?
She looks like a giant. She looks like Brody Dryden, how tall she is. That is amazing. So, either way. All right, Joseph, the great Joseph, says, I'm just confused. Here's the deal. Sometimes they're recruiting missy vals. I'm just confused how you get the 5th star when your coverage is that bad. Like, who did the scouting work on him? Here's the deal. That when you watch Justin Flo, he looks the part. I mean, that suddenness, that strength, everything. Some guys just aren't as good, period. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
It's recruiting missy val, but by everybody, not just by Scheer.
Yeah, and at the same time, and I'm not defending him, so obviously he's not as good as his rating was, but if you watch that dude in high school, he was murdering people, and you see the physical ability, and you say to yourself, yeah, why can't he cover? You don't cover in high school as a linebacker. You don't.
Right.
I mean, it's rare.
And why would you have him cover? I'm Joseph. I'm not beating up on you because you're much smarter than me. But why would you have somebody cover? And when you're like that, I mean, dude, seriously, have some, like, here's what you're not going to have do. Some dweeb like me go running out or something and saying, hey, best player on the field, follow that guy. No, we do not do that. We do not do that. So there's all kinds of stuff there. Now we are going down. Let's talk 2025 for a little bit. I have the one that is going to be an instant impact player, I believe, from day one in the entire 2025 class. By the way, like we said, in 2025 class, notice how it's already up to 6th in the Big 12 rankings. That's for all you ASU fans. You've gone very quiet of late, Jason Scheer.
Yeah. Look, Arizona's going to be fine, and eventually Arizona's going to move here to like the 35 range, and that's what we need.
That's all we need, because when you have a master of development like Brent Brennan, that's all you need. But all right, now let's talk a little bit though. Kellen Ford, that is who I'm going with. I believe this coaching staff wants to use the tight end. I am at the point now where I believe that this man should be a 4-star. You just have to be able to Scheer's got to make it happen. This is a kid that this coaching staff loves to use tight ends. I believe he's going to be an immediate impact player, Scheer, immediate impact.
Yeah, he's a stud. They need to hold on to him. He has offers from everyone in the West. Washington, UCLA offered him after he committed. They're going to be all over him. He is really, really good. And considering how important the tight end is in this offense, he's as important as anyone in this class, and they're going to have to fight to hang on to him. But so far, so good for Arizona.
So far, so good. But yes, very, very good. Now we're going to talk about some of the immediate impact players on the on Wednesday. Scheer is back to his Monday, Wednesday, Friday routine. I am putting that down on the Wednesday notes, but we have a few other things that we need to talk about. And for all the people that say I don't talk about football enough, we spent 35 minutes on it. So we got a couple other things, though, that we got to talk about. Want to talk basketball, and I got to end with something that I think is very important to me, very important to the community, very important to the community. But I am at the point now, Scheer, with Arizona basketball recruiting. In 2025, it is Braden, Burries, or bust. I don't care about the other players as much as I'd like to get them. It's Braden, Burries, or bust for a variety of different reasons. The first one is that Arizona is going to need a point guard. Second of all, domestic recruiting under Tommy Lloyd has not been great. It's not been bad, but it's been okay. Arizona's been on Braden Burries longer than anybody else. They 1,000% need to be able to get this kid. If you get him, everything's great. If you don't get him, I think you start having a few questions about the high school recruiting. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not going to be easy. I've never thought that any recruit, it's boom or bust. If Arizona doesn't land, and this is any school, if you don't land Braden Burries, but you land everything else you needed, does that mean the class is a failure? In my opinion, no. You might be different. With that being said, if you were to ask me the most important recruit in the 2025 class, it's Burries by far. I don't even think it's close, especially with the point guard situation and all that. Burries would be in a situation at Arizona where he comes in and he plays right away, which is rare for a freshman to do under Tommy Lloyd. I don't think there's any question that he's the most important recruit on the board right now.
And again, Arizona's been on him the longest, so I think you got to be able to get this kid. Honestly, Tommy Lloyd, like I said, he has done an A+++ job on the portal. There's no doubt about it. You look at what he's done, and I know there's some putzes out there that say that Caleb Love wasn't a hit. You are wrong if you believe that. But when it comes to domestic recruiting, you look at the high school kids, it's been very much a mixed bag. Now, Kylan Boswell obviously wasn't good here, but I still give him credit because Kylan Boswell was a 5-star kid. Carter Bryant, we loved, was a 5-star kid. But other than those two, and then you got KJ Lewis, there really hadn't been anything there, Scheer. So I think it's at least something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've said this before, 2025 needs to be a successful high school recruiting class. It has to be. Or else and I like the roster construction and all that, and I know the portal kind of diminishes the importance of high school recruiting, but they've been in on so many guys and recruiting so many of these guys for such a long time. They got to land a couple.
They got to land a couple, and 2025 is the year that they've got to be able to make this one happen. Now, let's see here some comments here. Who is the competition for Burries? Marcelo Martinez, UCLA is one. I do not understand why anybody would ever go to play at UCLA. We are going to talk about that on Wednesday and upset UCLA fans. I do not have any clue why, but UCLA is in there, Scheer. USC under Muss, I get it because Muss is, I mean, let's be honest here. This day and age, Muss is cool. Muss is cool. But
it's UCLA, Duke, Carolina. It's going to be, and it's probably the same for Koa. It's probably Carolina, Kentucky.
Yes.
Whatever.
All right. But that's where we're at, though. I believe that Arizona needs to be able to get him. Now, let me ask you this, Scheer. If this is just kind of if you get a couple 4-stars and this isn't a big class, do you start having a few concerns about the domestic high school recruiting, Jason Scheer?
A couple 4-stars? Like, why would I mean, I'm concerned that Arizona only lands a couple 4-stars.
Well, it depends. Like 54.
Let's say this.
Let's say that none of the 5-star
loses out. Hold on. If Arizona loses out on Koa, Tunde, Kamenia, and Burries and goes 0 for 4, I'd have a concern. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So that's where we're at on this. So Scheer does not go as far as I do in saying Burries or bust. I say Burries or bust. And I think this is the other thing that we're going to need to keep an eye on. If this doesn't happen, at what point does Arizona have to bring in Orlando Antigua? Break the bank to take away Illinois' program and get Orlando Antigua back here. That's something you got to consider at some point.
All I'm saying here, Mike, is it is July 1st, and Arizona, Orlando Antigua has not said no. He's not said no.
Interesting. This is something we will definitely keep you very closely up to date with Orlando Antigua. We don't know that he said yes either, but we don't know that he said no because we don't know that he has been offered. You know what? This is very, very much.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot going on, a lot of pieces.
Yes. Okay. Now, so dumb. Now, this is something else that I wanted to talk about. I posted it on your board, and listen. I don't like beating up people on your board outside of Flag Cat because he deserves it. But because most of them are very, very smart. The reason I don't post some things on boards is people have a very, very difficult time at some points of putting 2 and 2 together. And all I'm saying is this. Here's where I'm going with this. There's no need to panic. There's none of that. I am saying this, that as Arizona Athletics fans, basketball, baseball, football, we deserve Brian Jeffries as our play-by-play guy as long as Brian Jeffries wants to do it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. This is the best man in the industry by a mile. He is Tucson. Whenever he does retire, he should have a statue right next to Lute Olson. Scheer, this is something that as Arizona fans, we deserve, period, point blank, no ifs, ands, or buts. Reason I bring this up is obviously people have seen that Learfield, Arizona's moved on from him. That's the company that Brian was with. Right now, Brian does not have a job with does not have a job commentating these games. That could easily change at any point. But Arizona fans, it is Brian or bust when it comes to commentating there.
I've said this before, with satellite radio, I listen to a lot when I drive, and God knows how many miles I put in my car. I listen to other sports broadcasts and all that, and I'm not BSing when I tell you that Brian Jeffries is the best I've heard.
Yes.
Ben One Wide and I still remember, drove to USC or UCLA. I don't remember. What was that game we went to? Was it UCLA or USC? I don't remember. Remember a couple years ago? And we listened to some broadcasters, and they were just horrific. Like, they didn't even know who was on the field. Brian is the best. And I'll always remember Brian away from announcing, and I've told you this, when Brielle got in her really scary bad car accident, Arizona was playing BYU in Vegas, and I showed up to the stadium way too early, like I always do, and the only other person there was Brian Jeffries. He stopped what he was doing, walked down the hall, and the first thing he did was ask me about Brielle.
Yes.
And that's just the type of dude he was and is, and yeah, very, very important.
Now, Marcelo Martinez, you're incorrect about that. This is something, again, it's early. It can definitely happen, but this is definitely something that,
I think what's going on, to put it in perspective, is DRF is making a lot of moves, and I'm not saying they're bad or good. I don't know. Like, until I see the result, I don't.
Right.
And it was a major, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, it was a major move to fire Learfield. And I find it hard to believe that she doesn't have a plan in place. My guess, and this is just a guess, is that technically because Brian is unemployed right now, he doesn't really necessarily have an office or all that. And then when you make the decision to bring him back, which I assume that she will, then you kind of talk. But right now, there's kind of a limbo situation, and it's uncomfortable for people.
Right. Yeah, Marcelo Martinez, he says, I'll find the source. I think it was the Star. I don't need the source. I can go right. Yes, I don't need a source on that one. I'm telling you the way it is, with all due respect. But like I said, Brian Jeffries is the man. We are beyond lucky to have him. And let's be honest here, he plays perfectly with his color commentators as well. He and Lamont Lovett are absolutely fantastic together. He and Rhino are great together. He and Reggie are great together. And Brody Dryden, a good buddy of mine, is certainly an up-and-comer in the network. We deserve Brian Jeffries. I can't imagine anything without Brian Jeffries. We deserve. And again, I'm not saying do not start sending emails or anything like that. I just want to let people know that, right now things are still fluid, but the GOAT will always be backed on this show, period, point blank. He is the man. And just like you said, Scheer, he's a good dude. He has I brought Scheer and Ben out with us when we went to, we got some dinner after a Pac-12 game with the GOAT. And he's just a funny guy. I mean, he's a funny dude. He's very enjoyable to be around. We very much like Brian Jeffries. So there is
Mike has such respect for Brian Jeffries. I would bet money that Mike would not pass gas in front of Brian Jeffries.
Never. No, I wouldn't. Nope, wouldn't. And we were in a gassy restaurant too.
Mike, it was like Chin Chin. What do you mean gassy restaurant?
It was good. It was good. Yeah, but it was good. And and the other thing too, when I was going through all the stuff, with the 1290 and Rich, Brian was very, very good to me through all of that. So again, I will forever be indebted to Brian. So on that note, we did a lot of good work today, So we're going to continue to talk about all of this. Scheer, where can they find you, my friend?
WildcatAuthority.com, the Wildcat Scoop podcast with Shelby, at Jason Scheer on Twitter.
Yes, and I am merely Mike Luke. Again, so we'll keep you all up to date on that. I just felt that it was just time to kind of let everybody know where everything's at. We'll certainly keep you up to date. Now, also, no better time to become PHNX diehard. You might say to yourself, what is a way that I could get by the way, Glenn, I'm going to say that again for you. By the way, Glenn, an ASU guy who I actually like, forgot to mention after watching the presidential debate, I got to say, who says, by the way, more Biden or Mike? Me. I talk more. But but you might say to yourself, how could I get to the maybe a little bit closer to Jacob Franklin? Because keep in mind, Jacob Franklin did not let us sit with him at Chicken and Pickles. So guess what? We did not go. Become a PHNX diehard. That might be the way to Jacob's heart. I think that is something that we can definitely say. What say you on that, Scheer? Maybe the better way to Jacob's heart?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, Joseph says Flaps and Racks review. I went there. It's good. Have you been there? It's very scrumptious. Have you been there, Scheer?
I haven't. Where is it?
It's on the south side. It's off of like, I want to say it's off of like Aho and like 6th or something. Sorry. Either way, it's very good. So
I'll find it.
Yeah, it's good. We like it a lot. So on that note, though, Scheer, check it out. We will see you on Wednesday. I will be talking to you very, very soon, though, my friend.
Absolutely.
All right. Everybody out there, you're all very smart. Appreciate you guys. You guys are fantastic. We will talk to you. We will talk with you tomorrow. I am going to hopefully 10:30 as well. I'm going to help my mom drop off a service dog and then get back. Hopefully the show will be at 10:30. I believe it will still be able to be at 10:30. But for Jason Scheer, for the very, very talented Shane Diefenbach. Hey, should we call him the stealth Shane Diefenbach with how great he is at recording stuff without us seeing it?
Shane the Stealth Diefenbach. I'm in.
I am. And for the stealth Shane Diefenbach. I am merely Mike Luke. We will be back with you tomorrow. Bear down, back the A, and we will be back with you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.